What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this way.
Hello everyone, Katobi here. This video footage is from the past live stream I did on Twitch. I recorded this a while ago, but it's part of the How I Mix My Mica Powder videos. This is the first video, but also the companion video to the How I Mix My Mica Powder video. So you should watch that next. Let's watch this messy part together.
Oh dear, that is so messy. Oh my gosh. Right. You know what? That didn't work the way I wanted it to.
But I've learnt why it didn't work.
Oh dear.
I'll do a video in the future of why this didn't work.
That didn't work.
But better yet, I'll show you how it should be done properly.
That did not work at all.
I am sure some of you are kindly offering support on how to do this part correctly in the comment section. Add your requests and ideas in the comments for future videos. I read all of them. I'll be releasing art-related videos weekly made for you. I think it's very important to show what does not work as much as showing what does work. You will see the dried artwork at the end of this video. I recorded it in high detail just for you.
Ah, yes, the selection. Skylar helped me put the numbers on all of these, so that's number 8.
Thanks, Skylar, for getting these for me.
All right, so I'm not wearing a mask at the moment, but I'm going to.
Skylar was passing me the box of 36 mica powders. You will see that box in the How I Mix Mica Powders videos. I will be making another How I Mix Mica Powder video in the future. I really want to make the best videos I possibly can for you.
Yeah, I made mistakes there. And this is the fun of it. The experimentation, the learning. And I'm not sure what I learnt from that, except for I did that wrong.
And I did learn what I did wrong.
I'm going to mix up some mica powder.
Beautiful.
In this cup, but I've got to put on a mask, so my voice is going to get muffled now.
To anyone out there wishing to teach others how to use mica powder, I would ask that you please always wear your mask, especially when demonstrating to someone who is new to what mica powders are. If you are recording a video, you can always do an overdub like I am now.
With the mica powder, you do not want to breathe it in.
The short-term inconvenience of having the mask on is better than the long-term implications of the powder staying in your lungs. So please always take precaution for the person you're teaching and of course yourself.
Well, the good thing about doing this is I get to measure this up a bit differently than I did the last lot. So I got my scales.
I do have my scales.
Got my face mask on.
I do have it on.
Hello.
Hi.
So you want to wear protection for your respiratory system, because if this stuff gets in your respiratory system, it will not leave. Your body doesn't have a way to get rid of it.
I could not have said it better, even if I said it myself. Katobi from the past is doubling the amount of mica powder this time compared to in the tutorial video about mixing mica powders, because he wasted the mica powder and the base paint at the start of the video. I really wanted the red mica powder to show through more. You could say my failure led to me being able to redo the quantities, and I'm so happy I got to do this. In the end, it was all worth it. Check top right to see the card on the screen now, or later watch the playlist if you're on mobile for how I mix mica powders. I'm going to get my footing by producing 20 artwork videos to start off with. Then I will record more tutorial educational videos after that. I want to make these videos the best experience for you. This recording was downloaded to my PC after I broadcasted it live, so the footage is not quite crisp, unlike my future videos, which will be. I have a new studio area to do these recordings in for the purposes of these YouTube videos. I think the first tutorial video I'll do will be on how to mix mica powders. I'll do it shorter and it'll be higher production and higher quality compared to the first one. It took me over 50 hours of editing to get the first video ready. It was a wonderful process and I enjoyed making the first version of the video so much. I am always learning on my journey and I want to share that with you. This is so pretty. How amazing. My goal is to make videos for you. Videos that inspire, videos that teach, and videos that are amazing. I want to inspire you to make art yourself. I want you to know why I do things, how I do things, and I also want to share my failures and my successes. That way we can all grow together. So much exciting stuff I want to make for you. Right here I'm scraping the canvas. This is the very first time I've ever had to scrape that canvas, and it hurt to do it. It's not a total loss. I learned from the missteps I took, and I also had the opportunity to make this composition, that is a commission, to be so much nicer as a result. It's not just the paint that was being wasted, but the actual potential to create something wonderful with them. But scraping the canvas also allowed me to go back to the drawing board. I was able to easily create something fresh and new and closer to what I had envisioned by reusing the canvas, and I already had the paints mixed up and ready. Not much of a loss. But oh, the poor puddle of paint. I have since created a way of collecting my leftover paints to use for future projects because of this experience. I am taking the opportunity to clean the edges of the canvas too. Let's speed up the footage so we can pour the pillow layer again. The coverage of the paint is very similar to what you saw at the start of the video. I am about to pour out the pillow with double the amount of mica powder compared to what I did in the How I Mix My Mica video. You already saw me mix that in this video with the black base earlier. I prepared my base paint days before this video. I like to let it sit after I make it to give the bubbles a chance to rise and pop. Keep watching until the very end of the video to see how the final composition here dries. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Even though the camera angle is not close and the video quality is not sharp, take a close look at the top right footage. You should be able to see the red mica in the black pillow base. It's exciting to see that. If you would like to see a longer version of the dry composition at the end of the video, then you will not want to miss next week's video tutorial about how I mix mica powders. I plan to release a new video every week. I want to start producing some educational content in the future too, but let's get 20 videos of creating acrylic fluid art posted first. I can't wait to show you what I have in store for you. At the moment, I'm just spreading out the pillow. There are many ways to do this. I like this way because I can see if anything has fallen into the paint. Look at how gorgeous this is. It's a real shame my lighting was not great when I recorded this live stream. I hope you can see the red coming through subtly in the right view. That's the mica powder showing through the black base. Amazing. I explained the differences between translucent, opaque and semi-opaque in the How to Mix Mica Powders video. It seemed better to publish this video first so you can see how I use the mica powders. Also, I tell people to come watch this video in that video. So I really had no choice but to put this video up first, or I could have released them both together at the same time, but we would have confused the YouTube gods.
So you want to move the flame quickly because you don't want to burn the paint.
That's right, you don't want to burn the paint while popping the surface bubbles with the flame. It smells bad, and if you are not in a well-ventilated room, it could cause some bad health effects. See the red mica powder in the black on the right side of the screen on the canvas? Do you see that? It's so gorgeous. That is the mica powder colour being reflected. Mica powder is incredible stuff. The way they make it, they add metal oxides to it. They can make the size of the powder particles bigger and smaller, and each gives different effects to the eye. By putting mica powder on a white object or a black object, it changes how you see the colour. So now I've really got a nice coverage of the pillow, so the rest of the paint will flow very nicely in a moment. Right now I'm just making sure I've got everything sorted out before getting started pouring. The third video I am releasing will be me doing an acrylic fluid art on my bedroom door. A card may pop up on the top right of the screen now or at the end of the video if I've released that video on YouTube for you already. You definitely want to hit the subscribe button. It does not cost you anything. It just lets YouTube know that you want to see more of my videos. Remember, so you don't miss that video or others, I am posting new videos every week. The door was the second acrylic pour I ever did. The first acrylic pour I ever did was only minutes beforehand. Let's pour the last of the silver onto the canvas and take a few moments to compare the compositions that I messed up at the start of the video to this one. As you can see looking at the two of them, I have left out the red paint from the first attempt. The reason I did that is because I had doubled up the amount of mica powder in the black base pillow, and I could see this working much better. This is a commission artwork, and when I asked what colours they would like me to use, they said red, but they and art about it. So I was a little weary about putting red into the composition to start with. But using the mica powder in this way was the real hero here. What I am doing here is applying the swiping medium directly to the spatula. I'll do a video in the future of how I mix my paint and my swiping medium. I'm about to swipe across the top of the paint. I'm using a different black compared to the black I used as the base pillow paint. The difference is the swipe black is a higher pigment black. This way, the two stand out against each other. You can clearly see on the right side of the screen that the black lacing has already started. This swipe black works fantastically. This turned out to be an impressive composition when it was finished. I can't wait to show you at the end of the video. In the future, I'll be experimenting with an even deeper black. Subscribe because you don't want to miss that video either. I'm thinking of releasing my new videos over on another channel, without any voiceovers, just music. So if you don't want to hear my amazing voice, I'll post a link to that channel. You'll miss out on heaps of information, but you can always come back to these videos to hear what I'm explaining and teaching. When I make these videos, I am making them for you. Just leave a comment to let me know what you'd like to see me do next, or any experiments you'd like me to try. I want to empower current and future generations of artists and innovators. So if you have any questions about anything, please ask in the comments below. I do read all my comments and I'll try and answer them as best as I can. Sometimes I'll only be able to read them, but I'll leave you a heart, so you know I have read your comment. I don't have any staff, so it's just little old me interacting with you. So please use the comment section below my videos so we can connect with each other. I want to make the videos that you want to see, so you really do get to guide where this channel is going to be going in the future. And believe me, this channel is going to be building something different. I plan to expand my content into different directions in the future. It will still be based on me making beautiful art for you and teaching you different techniques. But in the future, I plan to really expand what I am doing here, and I hope you'll definitely come along for the journey. So stay with me as I start my journey. The video quality, lighting and sound will improve over time. I can't wait to look back at these videos when I've made my 100th video. What I'm doing here in the video is applying multiple swipes of the black swiping paint. I'm excited to read what you think of this composition when you see how it is dried at the end of the video. I added a few more black swipes over the top until I am happy with the overall look and feel of the composition before I start to stretch it out. I will show you the wet version of the painting once I've stretched it, and I'll show you a dry version at the end of the video. The dry version is stunning and vibrant and is so very beautiful. When you work with mica powder and you have used the right paints like semi-transparent, semi-opaque or translucent, and the painting is dry, you may find you are not thrilled. It may look dull and not so amazing. That's where applying gloss varnish or an epoxy will really make your picture pop. I will do a video showing dried and varnished versus dried and not varnished in the future. I will also show you how I varnish my completed artworks. As for epoxy videos, you'll have to wait a while before I start sharing how you can do them. But please remember this, epoxy is not to be messed around with. You need to wear a respirator mask. I beg anybody teaching others how to use epoxy to please only show people when you yourself are wearing a mask, and if they are there in person with you, the person you are teaching must also be wearing a respirator mask. It's just not worth the health issues to not be wearing a mask. Ask yourself this, if I can't afford a mask, then can I really afford to get unwell by not taking the proper precautions? So don't mess around with epoxy. Use it correctly. I care about your health. I'm just cleaning my spatula as I prepare to tilt the canvas and stretch out the final composition. Now that I am ready, I have already noticed how I would like to stretch out the composition and in what direction. What I'm about to do here in the video is feel the weight of the paint on the canvas. This helps me when stretching the composition out. You feel the way the canvas balances and then try and shift the paint to that direction. This helps you get a better overall stretch most of the time. As I am looking at the composition, I am making sure that I can get the cells and the lacing as beautiful as possible. I pause here in a moment to tell the camera and my live audience from when I was live streaming this that I don't want to lose the top corner and that I'm going to spread away from that corner first. What that is going to do is it's going to give me a limited amount of paint at the end to pour off and help the composition to stretch out the way I'm hoping it will. One of the things I could have done would be to add a little bit more paint to the canvas and make the paints easier to run before I stretched it. But I was really happy with the way this process was going. The paint on the canvas is flowing very slowly, but I like this. It means that the composition gets to stretch a lot more. That was the part where I said I would pause. Now I'm going to stretch out the composition to fill out the canvas. Stretching out the composition is exciting. I feel I'm in a heightened state of awareness. The anticipation on how exactly the final artwork will look is at the forefront of my mind, but it's never the same as you expected it will look. I love that about acrylic fluid art. Notice the container I'm dripping all the paint on? This was my first container I made to store my finished paintings so they could dry. Since then, I have designed 12 boxes to hold my paintings, to let them dry and protect them. I do plan to release a tutorial video on how I design these for anybody who wants to have a nice, safe place to store their dried artworks, that their pet's hair, any dust, or things that can fly can't find their way onto their drying artworks. Now I'm tilting the very last corner. Look how deep the black there is from the swiping paint. I love how the golden black cells look here. I managed to save them all just like I hoped I could. You can see I'm really having to tilt the canvas to get the last of the paint off and stretch the final composition out. That's it, done. Now I'm just making sure that the paint is leveled out and I'm showing the camera. Is that a baby? I am making some small minor tilts and seeing if I like the way the whole thing looks. I find it hard to stop looking at these when they are done. I really think I could sit there watching the paint dry all day, all the while being impressed with the way that physics works, allowing for such beautiful things to be created by us. Now I'm just touching up the sides, making sure that they are covered in paint. Then I just need to clean up before I do a final flaming. We will speed up the footage of me cleaning all the paint off my gloves. I'm doing the final flaming of the canvas. That allows for any more cells or intricate lacing to form and pops any bubbles that may still be present. I do apologise for the footage. Like I said, this was filmed on Twitch, and as the end result isn't what I want to show you in the future. The lighting there isn't great, so I've since moved out of the garage to do my recordings for you. I've created my own little studio now to film in, and it's a lot better than my garage was. Just finishing off the torching and then we are done. I will take off my painted gloves and bring you in for a closer look at the wet composition. Stay tuned for how the image looks dried after this. The footage is a little faster than the footage at the end of the How I Mix My Mica Powders video. At the end of the video, you'll see some videos to watch next. One will be the mica powder mixing video that is a companion to this video, and the other will be the bedroom door pour I did. Let's take a nice close look at how this turned out. My coming videos will be a lot more clear and the lighting much better. I can't wait for you to see how this looks dried and lacquered at the end of the video. The lacing looks so lovely. I love how the cells came up. The owner of this artwork loves it so much. Well, that's the end of this part of the video. Enjoy the flyover. Like and subscribe so you get a notification about next week's video, How I Mix Mica Powders. Thank you so much for watching. Remember, don't be awesome, be amazing. So for your eye, they can make the sizes of the powder particles. They can make this